This video is made for adult collectors because who's heard of Metalhawk? Ew, why is it gray? Why is it gray? Ooh. Yeah, I don't know why this is out either. Metalhawk and Twincast came out here in Canada, then shipped from BBTS, and I don't even have Tarn yet. This got announced a week ago. What? I got this from a store down in Windsor, Ontario called Here to Serve You, not sponsored. Their price is a bit meh for it, higher than Walmart, but lower than Toys R Us, so I was okay with paying the $52, I think it was, that this thing cost. But this was one of the figures I was the most excited about from Wave 2 that they announced other than Shrapnel. And I must say, I found Cyclonus kind of bland, but this is really good. Before I get into everything though, huge thanks to Try Treats for sponsoring this video again. Try Treats is a snack subscription box service thing. You know, one of those boxes you get every month in the mail that contains a different country's snacks. This month we got Taiwan, and my mom was really excited to try snacks from Taiwan, so that was cool. And where's the blurb? I lost a piece of, oh, there it is. I got the piece of paper. I'm a professional, I promise. If you want to get 15% off your first box, use discount code ThatToyGuy from the link in the description down below, and you'll get, 15% off your first box. And as customary, gotta try the snacks to make sure they're good before I plug the thing, but I can't try them because of my food allergies, and normally my dad does, but my grandparents were over, so here's them trying the snacks.
Everybody's looking at me. Quite spicy. Yeah, I like it.
Getting a full-on food review.
Beans.
Beans. Oh,
Oh wow.
they look interesting.
Good.
Yeah, you like them? So yeah, thank you Try Treats for sponsoring this video. Now let's get on to the actual toy. It's the same basic bones as Cyclonus, but something about it feels different and less boring to me. It's probably the new tooling on the chest, the new fancy colors, the new and more plentiful weapons, the gray. Oh my lord, the gray. Okay, I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. I hate Games Workshop gray. It's that gray color you have on those Warhammer models and stuff. I don't know, I heard the term from good old Vangelis a long time ago. But it looks tacky and ugly here. All the tooling on certain parts gets lost because of the way it does shadows, and it really limits the visual appeal of those toolings. And in jet mode, it just breaks up the colors so much, but we'll talk about that later. The sword is the worst offender for this. There's so much nice detail on there, like the hose, the shaping of the blade, etc. But you can't see any of it because it looks unfinished. I don't like it. Toy hacks, I will 100% buy a sheet for this guy if you make it and fix all these problems. Just add some more color, please. Everything else about it looks very nice. The knee pads are painted super cleanly. I love the silver going around the top of the legs and the torso color. I thought I wasn't gonna like this, but I'm glad they went with a more flat gold than a shiny metallic one. It just meshes with the rest of the colors better than the original's shiny chrome, to me anyways. Head's really nice, however mine does have a small scratch on the chin, which is a bit weird, but it looks like battle damage to me. Like, Indiana Jones' scar on his chin? That's what it looks like. The guns. God, the gray. The guns are neat. They do the Titan's Return thing of combining to form one big old gun, but they split and store on the legs, and holy shit, that looks awesome. I just wish they had color, but that looks super cool. Actually, one of my friends custom painted his Metalhawk, and damn, that looks a lot nicer already. I love how the guns make the legs feel completely different from Cyclonus and how it makes them feel bulkier. Like you're literally just adding two components to an otherwise exactly same legs, but it changes the shape and the feel of the thing. And Metalhawk also feels a little heavier. It's probably because he's got extra stuff on him because he comes with more than Cyclonus did, but he feels denser, which is also quite nice. The sword still looks terrible, but it stores in an interesting way. The peg is molded in such a way that you plug it into his back on an angle because the 5mm ports are always hexagonal, and so it fits in properly. Like if I were to try to spin it, it would just fall out. He can hold it too, and it looks a bit short to me in the hand. Like it could just be a tiny bit longer, but it's not terrible. He is very poseable though. Like I forgot how nice the Cyclonus mold was to pose around, and this thing just has a ton of stuff, but some weird things. So let's talk about that. Victory, Leo, you're in shot. Get out of here. So this is basically just the Cyclonus mold, and if you're familiar with the Cyclonus mold, then you know how this is going to work. But there are a couple of different things, and then a couple of things that are better on this than Cyclonus, and a couple of things that are worse on this than Cyclonus. So first thing that's worse is the head. It's on a ball joint, but because of how the head's sculpted, that's as far as it goes up and down. It can look left and right, but yeah, it doesn't go any further than that, which is a little bit annoying. Shoulders can rotate and do a full 360. Also, I should mention that every single joint on this guy is extremely solid. There's no loose parts whatsoever, except for something I will show you, but it also doesn't really matter. But yeah, it is extremely solid, and I was very surprised. Shoulders can go in and out. Now, one difference about the wings here, because they're on hinges, so they can move out of the way for stuff. These don't hinge up anymore, unlike Cyclonus, where his wings folded. These don't do that. I had to go double check that because I honestly couldn't remember if that was correct or not. Bicep swivels, he does have them on these stupid gray parts. 90-degree bend at the elbow. Now the wrists. This is the part that's a little different. So the wrists here, they're a little loose when they fold in and out, and I was like, oh crap, I got some loose joints, but they weren't pegged in out of the box, but they do peg in here, just like that. Now you have a solid wrist connection, right? That's not moving. You have wrist swivels. However, the way that the forearm is sculpted here, you turn the wrist, and it pops the thing out again. That's a little annoying, but he does have wrist swivels, so you can use them. Always nice to see on a sword wielder, you know. I wish they could do this, but that might be asking for a bit too much. Waist does not rotate. His PP is what rotates. So you got crotch rotation there. It's a very interesting place to put it, but I guess because this whole thing sort of opens, there's no other way to do that. Hips can go forward, they can go back, they can go in and out. You have a thigh rotation on a double mushroom peg, love to see it. Now the knees. This is another part that's slightly worse than Cyclonus because the knees it's always been weird to me how these are supposed to sit. Are they supposed to sit up here? Are they supposed to sit over here? Are they supposed to sit back here? I don't know. I just assume they're supposed to be like here because it has sort of like a natural stopping point. However, when you go to bend the knee, it doesn't bend the knee itself, it bends the friggin' transformation joint, which is a little annoying. I mean, granted, you can take use of that double jointed knee, but then you can like put water in there and drink out of it. And then when you bend the knee back, it's like collapsing the leg. It's so strange. I don't understand. Like, this should have a point where it clicks and stays so that you're just bending the knee. But you're never just bending the knee, you're bending the whole thing. And it's so annoying sometimes. Now I'm just... You gotta get him to stand even, and he doesn't like doing that a lot. You know what, you're gonna watch me struggle here. We're sitting through this together. Is that correct? Is that... I can't tell. Yeah, that looks correct. Feet cannot go back at all. They can go forward. Yay. And he does have ankle tilt. But I still like his poseability, and I think it's pretty good. Fun. Transformation is just Cyclonus again, with the wrists changed and the arms going in a different direction, but it still feels nice. Kind of wish it had some flair to it, as I found Cyclonus's conversion kind of mediocre personally. Probably because everybody was raving about it and hyping it up, and it brought my expectations up, but it didn't feel very fresh and new to me. Here, it's serviceable and fine, but I do like how it leads to a jet that feels more pancakey than Cyclonus, and how the wings still end up being in a very different orientation, and how the whole jet, it is the same base figure, but the alt mode completely changes from Cyclonus. And I love the way they were able to accomplish that by literally just changing a few things, few small things here and there. The jet mode looks swish, and I like the way everything works out. But that gray though, bruh. It breaks up the alt mode and looks really tacky. It also takes up a huge visual chunk of the alt mode and ruins it for me. Because the rest of it is very nicely painted. Everything's done super well other than this part. I don't know why that's two different shades of blue back here, but that seems to be only my thing, but whatever. The cockpit isn't stubby like one on the stock image. I don't know what lens they were using, but it came out looking all weird. Here though, it looks completely fine. The wingspan is pretty impressive for the size of this guy, and I love how vibrant the red on the wings is. It doesn't match super well between the different colors of plastic material used on the wings, but I believe that's a carryover from Cyclonus' tooling, I don't know. I love the guns and how they become extra back wings and tail fins, and how the sword has 2 tabs to make it slot into the alt mode on the top, like the Last Knight Megatron, but because it's gray, it looks off. I like it a lot, but the bland gray hurts it a lot for me. They should have gone for a darker gray or like a gunmetal in my opinion, like the original toy, which was a darker gray, but they went for this light one for some reason. But is it worth the asking price? No. I mean, most of these aren't because of inflation and other stuff affecting the prices like profit margin, shipping costs, material costs, etc. It doesn't mean I like paying these prices for these things. If it goes on sale, which they often do, then for sure get it. TF Toys actually discounts their pre-orders, so I would honestly say get it from there. I don't know how close to retail they are to begin with, also not sponsored, but look for deals like that. Metalhawk is still really cool and I'm okay with paying the full price for it, but that doesn't mean you should have to either, and definitely get it on sale if you really, really want it. But that's my look at Legacy Voyager class Metalhawk. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.